We were in the tornado.
Around 8:44 this
Dozens
morning.
of wind-overturned trucks in the United States. Lava from the Piton de la Fournaise volcano reached the ocean. A landfill collapse occurred in Indonesia. Crocodiles appeared on flooded streets in Australia. And the largest deep-focus earthquake occurred in Italy. These and other climate events of the past week are covered in our report. We will also discuss the threats hidden deep within the planet's interior. United States. A powerful storm system on March 10th triggered a series of tornadoes across the Midwestern United States. The town of Lake Village in the state of Indiana was struck by one of the most destructive twisters. An EF3 tornado tore directly through residential areas of the town. Footage from the scene shows streets where buildings were ripped apart, with debris from roofs and walls scattered across yards and roads. Emergency services report that more than 100 homes were severely damaged and about 30 were completely destroyed. The tornado knocked down trees and power lines, leaving parts of the town without electricity. The disaster claimed the lives of an elderly couple. 11 other people were injured. The same storm system also produced another rare weather phenomenon, giant hail in Illinois. Some hailstones reached a diameter of 15 centimeters. On social media, residents shared photos and videos showing ice chunks that barely fit in the palm of a hand. Meteorologists note that such hail size could set a new record for the state. The hail damaged vehicles and shattered windows and rooftops of homes.
And that's one of the smaller pieces.
On March 12th, a storm front stretching more than 3,000 kilometers struck the western and central United States, affecting about 80 million people. In some areas, wind gusts reached 175 kilometers per hour.
Wild in terms of the wind, too, is that these...
Strong winds tore roofs off houses and knocked out power lines. At the peak of the storm, more than 1 million customers were left without electricity in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan. In the state of Colorado, the storm triggered a dust storm that drastically reduced visibility.
Around 8:44.
Crosswinds on highways overturned dozens of heavy trucks, and a section of Interstate 25, approximately 50 kilometers long, was closed after multiple such accidents.
Look right here, Highway 93, like I mentioned.
A powerful cyclone formed over the central United States on March 14th. Within 24 hours, more than half a meter of snow fell in the states of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Strong winds caused blizzard conditions and significantly reduced visibility on roads. In Minnesota alone, police recorded more than 100 traffic accidents. Severe weather also disrupted air travel. More than 600 flights were canceled at Minneapolis Airport, and delays affected other major airports across the region. Australia. In the top-end region of the Northern Territory of Australia, tropical downpours triggered large-scale flooding. The city of Katherine was the hardest hit, experiencing the largest flood in the past 28 years. Streets and low-lying areas were submerged, and homes, businesses, and urban infrastructure were damaged. Smaller remote communities in the surrounding areas of Katherine were also affected by the flooding. Some settlements were evacuated for the second time this year. About 300 residents of the town of Daly River had only returned home 2 weeks earlier after the previous disaster. However, the elements struck again with renewed force. In 5 days, more than 570 millimeters of rain fell, causing the most powerful flood in the region's recorded history.
People, a couple of local tradies who had just gathered all the...
Rescue teams evacuated people from vehicles and homes using boats and helicopters. In flooded areas, especially along the Daly River and in the city of Katherine, both saltwater and freshwater crocodiles were spotted. Some were seen directly in residential neighborhoods and even on a football field. According to the mayor, she had never observed such a number of these reptiles after a flood before. More than 100,000 crocodiles live in the Northern Territory, and when murky floodwaters inundate urban streets, these reptiles become a serious threat to residents. Heavy rainfall also rapidly raised water levels in rivers across Queensland, triggering flooding in several river basins simultaneously. Over 3 days, the region received a record amount of rainfall, about 400 millimeters. The disaster caused significant damage to transportation infrastructure. Approximately 760 roads were affected across the state. The most severe situation developed in the city of Bundaberg, where the Burnett River overflowed its banks and flooded hundreds of homes and businesses. After the closure of key bridges connecting the northern and southern parts of the city, about 10,000 residents were cut off from the outside world. On March 12th, in the Wide Bay Burnett region near the town of Kīlauea, 2 tourists from China were found without signs of life in a flooded vehicle.
Forester has driven off.
The disaster also dealt a serious blow to the region's agriculture. About 1,200 head of cattle perished, and more than 1,000 kilometers of fencing were damaged. Indonesia. On March 8th, in Indonesia's West Java province, a massive waste collapse occurred at the largest landfill in Southeast Asia. Every day, up to 8,000 tons of waste are transported to the landfill from the country's capital, Jakarta. In some areas, the height of garbage mounds exceeds 50 meters, comparable to a 16-story building. The landslide was triggered by several days of heavy rainfall, with the peak occurring on March 8th, when 264 millimeters of rain fell in a single day. Moisture penetrated the waste mass, making it unstable and causing layers to shift. The collapse happened while several trucks were waiting to unload. A mass of waste about 50 meters high buried 5 garbage trucks and a coffee kiosk, blocked a service road, and obstructed about 40 meters of the Xikting River channel. 19 excavators and 7 ambulances took part in the rescue operation. 6 people were pulled out alive from under the debris, while 7 others, unfortunately, could not be saved.
Please find him for me. I told them.
Ethiopia. After several days of heavy rainfall on March 10th, destructive floods and landslides struck the Gamo zone in southern Ethiopia. Water-saturated mountain slopes collapsed at night while residents were asleep, burying villages under thick layers of mud and debris. The disaster destroyed about 190 homes, blocked roads, and flooded bridges. Vast agricultural lands were also wiped out. More than 3,400 people were forced to leave their homes and seek shelter in churches and public buildings. Continuous downpours hampered rescue operations. One person was pulled out alive after spending 3 days trapped under landslide debris. At least 107 people lost their lives and dozens more remain missing. Seismic and volcanic activity. A new, very powerful eruptive episode of the Kīlauea volcano occurred in Hawaii. On March 10th, lava fountains in the Halemaumau crater exceeded heights of 400 meters. The ash plume reached an altitude of about 9 kilometers, causing disruptions at Hilo International Airport. The eruption lasted for 9 consecutive hours, and volcanic rock fragments fell in communities near Kīlauea. In some areas, debris the size of a soccer ball was found. For safety reasons, certain sections of Highway 11 were closed. In Hawaii Volcanoes National Park and near the volcano golf course, ashfall and fine strands of volcanic glass, known as Pele's hair, which are hazardous to the respiratory system, continue to be reported. Due to breathing difficulties, one person with asthma sought medical assistance. A nearly month-long continuous eruption on one of the slopes of the French volcano Piton de la Fournaise on Réunion Island entered a new phase as the lava flow advanced. On the morning of March 12th, lava movement resumed. The flow approached the RN2 highway and began slowly descending the southeastern slope of Grand Brûlé toward the ocean at a speed of about 25 to 30 meters per hour. On March 13th, the lava flow, for the first time in nearly 20 years, crossed the road, completely cutting off transport links between the southern and eastern parts of the island, and then continued moving toward the coast. The lava flow measured about 15 meters in width and up to 1.5 meters in height. Specialists from the Piton de la Fournaise Volcanological Observatory report that magma continues to feed into the volcano system, meaning the eruption remains active. The lava reached the ocean on the night of March 16th. Contact of basaltic lava with seawater produced dense plumes of steam enriched with volcanic gases and fine glassy particles. A strong odor lingered in the surroundings, and the irritating gases caused burning sensations in the eyes and throat. Approximately 50 people were relocated to a safe area, but tourists continue to visit this hazardous site despite the strict prohibition. On the morning of March 13th, a strong earthquake with a magnitude of 6.5 was recorded off the coast of Chile. The epicenter was located 41 kilometers southwest of the city of Huasco in the Atacama region, with a focal depth of about 26 kilometers. The tremors were felt across a wide area, from Atacama to Valparaiso, including the capital, Santiago. The strongest shaking, reaching 6 on the Mercalli scale, was recorded in the cities of La Serena, Coquimbo, and La Higuera. Witnesses reported that the shaking lasted nearly 4 minutes. A series of aftershocks followed the main quake. In areas near the epicenter, rockfalls and minor landslides were recorded. However, there were no reports of casualties or significant damage. In northern Turkey, in Tokat province, an earthquake with a magnitude of 5.5 occurred on March 13th. Its focus was located at a depth of 6.37 kilometers. Seismic shaking was also felt in neighboring provinces. As a result of the earthquake, plaster fell from buildings in several locations, suspended ceilings were damaged, and small cracks appeared on the walls of a regional boarding secondary school. The nighttime earthquake frightened residents. Many rushed out of their homes and remained outside until dawn due to fear of aftershocks. In comments, eyewitnesses reported experiencing strong fear and anxiety. Several residents sought medical assistance due to stress and minor injuries sustained during evacuation. Authorities in Tokat province canceled school classes for 1 day as a safety precaution. Residents of Sochi in Russia also felt echoes of the earthquake in Turkey. In social media comments, they reported that tremors were noticeable early in the morning in several districts of the city. It is worth noting that in March of this year, seismic activity off the coast of Sochi was elevated. On March 3rd and March 6th, a series of earthquakes with magnitudes ranging from 4.4 to 4.7 were recorded in the Black Sea, within 20 kilometers of the coast. In residential buildings, chandeliers swayed and windows rattled. Fortunately, no people were injured, and no significant infrastructure damage was reported. According to experts in this part of the Black Sea, series of earthquakes with magnitudes above 4 had not been recorded during the entire period of instrumental observations. A strong, deep-focus earthquake with a magnitude of 5.9 occurred on March 9th near Naples, beneath the Tyrrhenian Sea. The hypocenter of the earthquake was at a depth of 410 kilometers. Due to this great depth, seismic waves traveled long distances, and the tremors were felt across Italy, from Naples to Milan and Verona. The earthquake affected railway operations. In Rome, some trains were temporarily cancelled, and on lines north of Naples, delays of up to 1.5 hours occurred due to infrastructure inspections. A strong, deep-focus earthquake with a magnitude of 5.9 occurred on March 9th near Naples, beneath the Tyrrhenian Sea.